Play Hard is already in the game, and here we go. The game number 1 of the semifinals of the Age of Mythology the Titans Clan League is starting, and it's on Painted Desert with blind pick. So what kind of gods have the players chosen? Oranos Loki for BrT and Oranos Loki for for Lad. So actually right there a mirror, which is pretty curious. But they seem to have arrived at pretty much the same conclusion, all of them, and we're probably going to see the same kind of matchup here, and let's see who develops and rather actually executes better on the strategy here. So the first to have a look at is right now Lat at the right side, and Ayak is the first one who is going with the one Oracle at the bottom to have a look around this TC, where possibly is some extra hunt or whatnot, and the other Piggy is going in the left with some scouting duties, and well, the second Oracle is right in the middle of the map right now, trying to see what's between this 30C from Leonardo and the 30C of himself. The last Oracle is going to the back as well, so they are right now interested in scouting at the back more than the forefront. And looking at the pocket right now for Kyliudai as Loki, who is already gathering from the gold mine, and otherwise in his hunt is pretty much occasionally placed, and I would expect hunting dogs to be there as well, which they really are, and he is right now scouting with this Ulfsark also at the back, so that seems to be the theme here for at least Lats. So right now they are having a pretty good line of sight at the back, also having discovered this extra hunt together with the gold, and having a pretty nice gold placement at the back as well with this other one, so it should mean that Kyliudai will be in a pretty good position for the whole duration of the game. So first relic in 9 Racing's Cat base, which is 10% villager speed. Well, that's not half bad, especially considering how slow actually Ativilis are, so that's going to help him quite a lot, and otherwise having some decent amount of piggies already going in. Oracle also at the back, having a look at the tree line and where the water is. And well, let's have a look at some of the relics that we see strewn around the map. So that's Archer, Troll, Centaur cost cheaper, which is pretty nice indeed, although we don't really have any Greeks here, so that's slightly not that useful as it could have been. But for Archai, it could be pretty useful for the Oranosis. And well, 5% building crush armor, also pretty nice. And do we see some other relic? No, not yet. I don't really see anything on the minimap else. And well, let's have a look at the first player from BrT, and that's going to be the Metal, who is Loki. So we don't really have a mirror here, as the Loki for BrT is on the right side, whereas Kyliudai is in the pocket. So let's see how that will influence the game. And he is right now going for both rhinos right next to his base. And does he have some extra hunt? Well, quite a lot of giraffes on the right, together with some lions, and I'm really looking for some extra other hunt, but I don't really see anything, not in the middle, but he is already going for a temple, and that's at 3 minutes, so that should be some decent time, like 4 minutes 15 advance for 30, which is not half bad and should result in some standard strategy from the Loki. Another bunch of rhinos at the back, and already having a look with the piggy at the tree line and how the water is looking at the back. The same could be said about the Oracle from Leonardo, who is trying to have a look and also finding a way through to have a look at his opponents sometime soon. He's right now moving around yellow quite a lot with all 3 Oracles, it seems. Yeah, so he will be interested in potentially raiding him, and well, I will have to be careful so that he isn't surprised by his opponent, but he should be advancing pretty soon as he's doing pretty well. And after this video, I would kind of expect that he would click into classical just as he did, and that's 430 advance. And how's it looking for Leonardo? Pretty much absolutely the same, like 11, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, that's absolutely the same like Ajax, so they are playing the same game with the same time. 25% for play hard as well. And how's it looking for the other guy? 34% for 9 Racing Cat, and for Lokis 18% for City, and the last one 24% for City for Greens. So Metal will be slightly faster, but that's just really a matter of seconds, and we should be seeing some quite aggressive gameplay looking at the gods here. Otherwise, you can see that the TC placements are kinda okay. They are just in the range of everybody here quite safely, and it's kind of hard to wall on this map because, as I said, there is no wood in the middle, just some stragglers here. And well, you can see that Kyliudai is going for some very adventurous walling. That's one hell of a wall from this hill. and he probably hopes to finish it to this tree line, which is quite some ways. And well, since Leonardo was already preparing for the raid in here, he did pretty well, and he has forced these 3 food wheelies from Ayak retreat from the Rhino here, which is pretty important because that's 240 food, which is quite a lot. And more importantly, this is a food gathering downtime, which could come back to bite Ayak, because right now he should be at a pretty serious disadvantage. And even though he has been able to kind of defend against that, those 3 wheelies are very low on health, especially this one. And that could be a serious problem for him when he's raided later on. Yeah, he's going to be super careful. We'll have to be super careful. And right now, Leonardo is discovering the Great Wall of China here from Giliudai. And well, Giliudai right now is going for some pretty much standard build as a Loki, I would say. Or standard build. Actually, no, he isn't. Because you don't see second temple, which is what Lokis usually do. He went for Longhouse, which is slightly interesting. And well, Metallo is the one who is going for a standard here, having double temple and just now building another house, and that's about it for him. And he is aiming at actually go raiding on his right opponent, 9 Racing Cat, who is already having a temple with the villager speed. Yeah, he will safely get raid to his temple. And well, he is going at the back and hoping to find some villies. And he will, but at the same time, they are very nicely protected by the well-placed manor, and it shouldn't result in some serious problems for Nyan Racing Cat. Right now he's already having 3 Murmilos and very nicely placed Spy, which will allow some extra raid in here. But, well, with extra Turmalin, rather Micro, this could well work well for Nyan Racing Cat, and right now, yeah, the numbers are definitely in his favor, and Metallo would have to hope for some nice mythical spawns. They are so far not coming, and it seems like that BRTs are definitely taking the initiative here and trying to raid as much as they can, going at the back with Leonardo as well, and he has already discovered the food wheel is basically mirrored from the right side from Nyan Racing Cat, and they are also having quite nice manor and pretty much a decent army here, and I think this army should be enough to stop Leonardo from trying to raid here, but he is right now catching off guard quite well. Well, that's a lifesaver. That's a lifesaver shockwave right there, because without that he would be microing quite well and stopping the villager from retreating and quite possibly killing it, so very well played and nice job by Ayach. Otherwise, you can just see that absolutely everybody is trickling from the left side to the bottom. So it seems like BRTs are having the upper hand and they are executing the strategy slightly better. But the wall from Kiliudai is starting to be finished here. And once it is, that could definitely buy them quite a lot of time to prepare some special counter strategy against their opponents. Right now, this is one of the first larger battles, and it's kind of an interesting battle that Playhard is really taking it, because he is near the military buildings of his opponent, and that means that Nyan Racing Cat will be having an advantage. And Metallo is right now arriving quite late, and they should have coordinated their attacks slightly better, but with the reinforcements from Metallo, that's not really going to matter. Right now you see that it is going to be a pretty hard double, and what's exactly the Loki at this point doing? He is not advancing, he's just brutally walling. And at this point, I'm gonna say he's maybe sending resources. I'm just going to check some economy upgrades, and nothing there. And once this battle is somehow resolved, I'm gonna have a look. How's it looking for Giliudai, because he's really not having all that many units. Just a few if you look at the minimap, raiding at the back of BRT's bases. But otherwise, yeah, this is not really the same army as this green one. Nowhere near close. Well, I'm gonna have a look at the postgame right now. Maybe no resources distributed. So it was just a special strategy from Kiliudai, who spent quite a lot of army time with his Hersiers, and also quite a lot of resources, because this wall is absolutely huge. You can see that's really pretty brutal wall right there, but it could really help them. And with the fact that Ayak has been able so far to defend against his opponent, Leonardo, he might have bought with this wall quite some decent time to somehow recuperate for his team. BRTs though are right now transitioning into some echo booming, as Leonardo is picking up a second TC. And well, this fight for Nyan Racing Cat together with Kiliudai is not going all that well, and that means that Playhard is right now having a free reign of this base, basically, with Metallo having a pretty good time of raiding here. And well, these are just a bit of idles here from Kiliudai, who is probably consumed with some micro in the units. And well, Metal right now, that was a very nice move to actually corner some of those wheelies, and he killed at least one. But more importantly, he forced them off the hunt. And he is a proper nuisance at this point, because right now he's being joined by Leonardo. And if Metallo joined with Leonardo right now, that would be a pretty good army to take down all of Ajax. And I'm kind of surprised that it is not happening. They had the opportunity here, and well, that gives Ajax a time to actually go for the second TC, the same as Leonardo does. Leonardo, though, is still sending reinforcements into the attack here, and the wall is almost finished. Just this last part, and it will be pretty much safe. And on the right side, it seems like that Playhard is not really having enough units by himself to do anything against the double here, which is kind of understandable, as both Kiliuda and Nine Racing Cat are defending quite well, and the addition of Cherbaliste is exactly the right unit, I think, because it's going to stop Metallo in his tracks, as he can't really do anything with his Hersers against the brutal barrage of those arrow throwers. And that's of course going to help against the army from Playhard as well. Also, the towers, pretty nice upgrade, that's going to help quite a lot. And well, you can see that 9 Racing Cat is also switching into the second TC because he's in a position that he is kinda popped. Yeah, this seems like a pop army to me. And that means that when he's not under pressure, he can go for the economy as much as he can. Right now, this should have been a bit of a raid-in, but it's not anymore, because Playhard will be cornered here by Kiliudai, and well, we see some extra gold, or a relic rather, being put in from 9 Racing Cat. He's already having 3 villager speed, gold trickle, and archer cheaper cost, so he will be pretty much a threat in heroic once he transitions into the Arcusis, or rather Archive. So this battle is kinda okay, so Playhard is just trying to find some opponents here, not really finding any luck, and Leonardo right now is being repelled from Ajax base, who is right now at 2 TCs, the same as Leonardo, but he seems to be having a better army composition, or microing slightly better, and this is pretty much developing into a good old 1v1 between those two Oranoses on the left. You can see also on the minimap that we have some extra TCs being built by Playhard and also the Loki Metallo, and on the other team 9 Racing Cat just finishing, and the only one who isn't going for a second TC yet is Kiliudai, and well, is he going for something extra special? I don't really see it. He's just having still one temple and one longhouse. So it's kinda slightly curious where everything is going, but right now he's going for armory, and yeah, that was the thought that I would have mentioned earlier. But, well, I didn't have time, and that's a damn good idea, because the Heroic Age and the Flaming Weapons could be a pretty good counterplay to those town centers that Playhard and Metallo are building. So they are going heavily into boom right now, BRTs, seeing that their early push is not really right now going to do anything, as they are slightly losing, especially on the left side. Leonardo is really getting his ass kicked at this point. You can see the huge difference in army between Ajax and him. But with Leonardo building some extra military right near his base, he should probably be thinking about the towers right now, because he will be under attack pretty soon. Yeah, especially those two wheelies are definitely not safe. This could be a slight problem for BRTs, because at this point Leonardo might need some extra help from his allies. On the right side, though, we see that 9 Racing Cat has been under some heavy attack from quite a lot of Hersers from Metallo, who is right now at 3 TCs and having pretty decent amount of Hersers, and probably waiting for some fortuitous, or how's it pronounced, spawn of some mythical units. But, well, with Kiliudai's Hersers in the place as well, that's really not going to be that much of a problem for 9 Racing Cat. Otherwise, that would have been a problem, but like this, not really. A third TC is being right now captured by Ajax, so problems for Leonardo are just mounting up. And yeah, at this point I'm pretty much convinced he's going to need help. Kiliudai is right now going for a nice raid in as well, having a spy on Metallo's gold willies, I think. And well, he hasn't killed really all that many of them, just like 3, which is at least something. But it was pretty much important at this point for disrupting what Metallo was doing. And yep, he will have to move somewhere else, possibly for the gold also. And well, they should be thinking about capturing the middle of the map. As you can see, there's quite a lot of gold mines up for the taking. On the left, Leonardo is doing all he can to prevent his opponent from getting a pop advantage against him, and he's not doing half bad at that, but still he is contained to his base, and this raiding is just, yeah, a bit of a nuisance at this point for Ayak and not really any threat. The Hersirs in the middle are right now in the process of being cornered. And it seems like Nine Racing Cat with Kiludai are doing pretty well, but this maneuver was very nice indeed, and we see some first advances into Heroic from both Metallo and Nine Racing Cat. So we have a Bragi and Thea here, and I'll kinda guess that this guy, Kiludai, should be advancing pretty soon as well, as he has researched, or rather built armory, and shouldn't really be lagging all that much behind. Right now he's trying to make sure that his front TC is not being stolen, so this is the longhouse being built. And well, this army is right now in an attempt to actually run away from the battlefield. And well, they finally make their way out. But well, they will need some extra help from their allies to deal with the birdies here, because they are a problem. Right now this is a pretty... Well, that's a huge army of Turmas. 22 Turmas right now on Metallo's gold mine, which is pretty good play. And that's a huge release dead at this point, and with few extra shots they should be killing at least those half deaths, and it would be well worth it, even losing some of those Turmas here. Right now he's just circling around, probably trying to find some extra way here, but with the towers right now being researched, he will have to be extra careful, and this is not going to go all that well for him. This is, though, very nicely played from Metallo, because his TC was kinda in the middle of the map, so he just right now is capitalizing on the opportunity given to him, that he is having a very nice beachhead covered by his TC, but also very close to 9 Racing Cat's base. And right now a huge battle is going on here, and it's a proper 2v2 between Playhard with Metallo against 9 Racing Cat and Kiludai. So let's see how this develops, but with the fact that Metallo has been in Heroic Age for quite some time longer than Kiludai, who has advanced just now, he is already having quite a decent armor number of piggies, and if he can somehow micro them to the left, to those Turmas and the Chairo Ballistae, it could actually be a pretty good battle for him. But I kinda think that he needs a bit of extra help, as Playhard is not supplying enough units at this point. And well, this battle is right now raging on quite strongly, and at the same time the same is going on the left, where Leonardo, if you look at the minimap, has been trying to actually capture his front TC, but has been unsuccessful so far. Leonardo finally into Heroic Age as well. And this battle seems to be going quite convincingly into Lat's way, and I don't really see any green army here, or red for that matter, but a whole lot of teal and purple, so pretty good job by Absolats on winning this very important battle. Just gonna switch onto the left side to just confirm that Leonardo hasn't been able to build his TC, which he definitely hasn't. And well, this seems like a huge Turma war at this point, but with having an advantage in the population limit for Ayak at this point. And Leonardo is just jumping into the Mythic here through Hecate. And how's it looking for Ayak? We've set 3 TCs, and is he advancing? Just but into Thea, into Heroic, so he might be in a problem, and the TC disadvantage might not be as bad for Leonardo if he has the proper technology advancement above his opponent. Right now those 3 birdies are pretty much a death sentence to any Hersirs that Metallo might have, and he is losing the battle at this TC, and Kiludai right now seeing that they need to finish this TC if they want to fight another day. Right now it seems like Yellow is joining the battle here, and he has killed quite a lot of Willies here. It seemed like Metallo went for some adventurous gold mining, which didn't pay off at all, and he lost, yeah, it seems quite a lot at this point, and he has lost the TC as well, and right now he's going to lose quite a lot of Willies if he doesn't run with them and protect them with the units, which he probably should. And right now the battle is very much in Lat's power. And BRTs will have to up their game quite substantially, especially on the left. Leonardo will have to somehow put Ayak out of the game, because right now this is a 3 versus 3 on the right side, and well, the battle is not going well, especially because of these mythical birds. Right now the next battle is probably going to be a region around this TC from Playhard, as that's the next defensible position for BRTs. And well, Playhard is having a pretty decent army at this point. Baseline of upgrades, I was looking for yellow. Also baseline and blue, nothing, because he invested into the Mythical Age, and I was looking for Kill You Die. Also baseline, and right now I'm just looking to catch some green army. As the last player, also baseline. So it seems like everybody is pretty much even, and Leonardo has still not captured his front TC, and he's still in a pretty bad disadvantage. And right now it allows Ayak to actually control him on the left with some bits of armies, and at the same time being able to help his allies Kill You Die and 9 Racing get on the right battlefield. Right now in the middle, we see that Kill You Die is having a Piggy's raiding army, so they should be aiming for some TC pretty soon. And well, here we see some very nice raiding from from Archive, from 9 Racing Get, who is forcing some of those wheelies, yeah, from Metallo to retreat somewhere else, and they are going for gold, probably here. And since it's out of line of sight from 9 Racing Get, it might take a bit of time for him to notice. He's right now trying to capture the TC from Metallo, and there's actually nothing that Metallo can do about it at this point, I would say. And well, right now it's pretty much up to Playhard. If he can play as a pocket strong enough to actually protect both of his allies on both the right and the left. Here we see some extra raiding at the very back from Playhard here, and doing pretty well. And it seems like by 9 Racing Cat, and Playhard is not really aware of this, just now sending this birdie, and well, he just saved the citizen at the nick of time. On the left, though, it seems like Kill You Die has switched from the right side to help Ayak finish Leonardo, and they are doing pretty well at that. As even though Leonardo is in Mythic and going for a Titan, he is having all kinds of troubles actually dealing with everything that he is being handed. And well, really no wonder, because he's right now fighting 2 TCs against 5, and that's not really a nice battle. And also trade route being disrupted, and that's further bad news for Leonardo right now. He's going to be helped by Playhard at this point, but yeah, which should be enough against this army, because that's just basically Turmas. And I'm just going to look at the right side, how Metallo is doing, because right now he is 1v1-ing a 9 Racing Cat, but 9 is having the advantage of numbers in the population limit, and well, some extra help from Playhard could actually be all it takes for him to win. But yeah, Kill You Die right now through hell. The Nidhogg is going to be pretty problematic, and especially when you see that the gold wheelies from Metallo are just being hammered so hard by these birds here, and still no counterplay to that. And well, yeah, you kinda need the Fire Giants, Metallo himself, but he can't really at this point. And well, a huge battle is right now going to be fought around this Titan Gate, sorry for this movement. And well, the Nidhogg is very nicely placed, but at the same time Leonardo had enough resources to make some hero archive, and yeah, right now he needs to retreat because he is not in the right spot. And this Titan Gate is going up pretty fast. You can see that the percentages are really going pretty well. And this guy, once he goes from underground cover, could be actually pretty important, because he might be able to somehow even the playing field and put down the number of TCs on Lat's way, on Lat's side. 9 Racing Cat and Ayak advancing into Mythic both. And Tartarian Gate has been cast from yellow somewhere at here. Oh yeah, at the Titan Gate, okay. Which is a sensible placement, especially when he supports it by a full front attack from his army, and having pretty decent army of destroyers. So at this point, I'm not exactly sure why he isn't pursuing. Ah, but that's why, because he was waiting for the Vortex by 9 Racing Cat, and this is a pretty strong attack at this point, and very strong double, and I don't really see any help anywhere nearby, especially when Playhard is himself on a pretty heavy attack from Kill You Die. And well, this is 2 versus 1. With a Tartarian Gate, and well, yeah, you can see how this is going. This is probably going to be a lot of dead wheelies at this point for Leonardo, and the Titan Gate shouldn't be staying at all. And you just hear a whole lot of dying here. And yep, this was the last Hail Mary from BRTs, and Lats are leading 1-0 through a very nice execution of the strategy, even though BRTs had a supreme upper hand at the very start and like into the middle of the game. It seemed like that the strategy that Lads have chosen to take it a bit slower was the correct one, and they were able to overcome their opponents in the later game. So very nicely played and good job. Good job. So let's have a look at the post game at this point. With 9 Racing Cat as the MVP, he was doing quite well indeed in the defense on the right side, even against two opponents, and he held quite strongly. And then his birds, yeah, they were the deal against the Gold Willies especially. But BRTs weren't doing half bad either. Really weren't doing half bad. And even though Metallo had pretty great civilian unit high, somehow couldn't compete with Kiluda, which is pretty interesting to be honest here. With such a huge echo boom, and he did have the town centers much earlier than his opponent. Just couldn't play a par with Kiluda. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Well, 123 murmils for play hard. Wow, that's quite a lot actually. That's actually quite a lot. And yeah, just civilian units and this brutal raid in here. Oh wow. Yeah, that was pretty tough. That was the loss of his TC, and he lost quite a lot of gold willies that raid on all around the map here. That was pretty bad for him. Alright, GG then.